Welcome to the Dolls Room, where every day is a disco party. Huh, Ito? Ito! Hi everybody! Welcome back to the Dolls Room. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Pullip Classical Alice. She was one of my first Pullips. When I was first looking at them, I was torn between Milk Latte and Classical Alice, and I spent a lot of time looking at both of their pictures. But Classical Alice was actually not available right at that time, so I got Milk Latte and I named her Kaelia, and I love her, and there's a video on her already. So Classical Alice is gorgeous and perfect. Period. The end. I think, well, so as you know, with Groove, there are a lot of different Alice series, and they're all really beautiful. But for me, this is Alice. When I think of that character, this is exactly what I picture. And her stock is amazing, her face is beautiful. I grew up reading the Lewis Carroll books, and I read the annotated Alice, which was a version where there were little annotations, there were little notes on the sidelines explaining kind of the trivia behind the different elements that seem so chaotic or sporadic in his writing, and it's fascinating. I majored in dance at university, and my final graduating thesis project was actually based on Alice in Wonderland, and you know, I could go on and on and on. Of course, the 1950s, is it? 1953 maybe? Walt Disney animated movie is one of my favorites. So when I picture Alice, I picture Alice. Here I have her with her little Dinah, the little cat, which does not come with her stock, but it's pretty darn cute. It's of the C-H-I, Sweet Home series, and you would see a lot of kittens around in my collection. I have a good number of them. I mostly have her displayed just as she is, and she's probably the only Pullip that I have that I display in her stock. I've tried her in a couple different outfits, and I've even tried her in different wigs, and if you've seen my photos, you know that I love to play with that. It's what keeps me interested, it's what keeps me interacting with the dolls, so that I don't just have them sitting on a shelf. But I realized with Alice that whenever I had her as any other kind of a character, that I really missed her like this, and this is how I appreciate her the most. So I'll give you a couple close-up looks at her, and then I will actually pause the video and remove her stock so that I can show you the details of that more close up as well. Okay, so because I keep her in her original stock, she's also one of the only Pullips that I keep on the original stock body. And it works well enough, obviously, for displaying her. I can't do much with her head other than rotate it side to side or move her eyes side to side, but that's okay. I think any other style of body just wouldn't fit her stock as well. So this is how she is meant to be. What I love the most about her is this sort of dreamy expression in her eyes. And because I do like to change the dolls around, I was really excited about her eyebrows. She has, let me remove this little headpiece. She has the most extraordinary expression in her eyebrows. And again, I was really excited to see that with some different wigs. A lot of my girls that have more expressive brows I like to have in wigs that either part to the side or even are completely have no bangs at all. But I haven't found anything that that suits her quite right. You can see here in the light that her hair does get frizzy, what a lot of people talk about when they're talking about the wig being frizzy. The wig itself is actually really soft and it's really beautiful. And the frizziness is controllable. When I'm working with wigs like this, I will take the separate strands and comb them out gently with a little metal brush. It does not get rid of the curl, or at least not in my experience. I'm pretty gentle to comb it all the way out, and after I've combed it out, then I will just twirl it in my in my hand. And I was nervous to do this to the wigs at first, but it does an incredible job of defrizzing, of kind of getting all those strands put back together. Her face-up has some really delicate shading, some pinks and blues. I think in my camera right now they're picking up a little bit green, but that's just a play of light. It's a really incredible design that they've done, and you can see the gorgeous feathering of the factory painted eyelashes, a very light pink lipstick with of course a darker shade there in the center, and all the other gorgeous elements of your typical Pullip design. Before I take her stock apart to show you the pieces, let's just go through it in person. So her dress has a collar as a ruff. She has this beautiful little apron that can be taken off so you have just the blue dress in the background. And then she has these really fun stripy stockings that go all the way up, and these adorable little pointy shoes. It sort of puts that finishing fine line on the entire line of her body. So I love these little shoes, and they fit perfectly. They stay on well. Unlike the headband, if you have different dolls that have these, you know they slip off pretty easily. But they can gently be shaped, and I tend to shape it fairly narrow, more narrow than her head, so that when I do slip it on, it actually does have a better chance of staying on. Here's a quick shot of how she looks without the apron. This dress is absolutely gorgeous. It stands alone as its own piece, as its own outfit. Okay, so we'll start bottom to top. Here again are these perfect little Mary Janes with a modest little heel. The stripy socks go all the way up and fit her perfectly. They would not fit an Obitsu body, which is another reason to keep her on her stock body. Here's her dress. You can see it in more detail. Again, the ruff collar. The dress closes with a simple Velcro strap. But here, for example, this is always fun for me to see because I do try to do some sewing. You can see all the little different layers and panels that made up the pattern of this dress. You do have to be careful because the material of this is a false satin, so it will catch on the Velcro and it could end up giving the dress kind of a run. If you've ever had a pair of nylon stockings get run, it's not a very attractive look, so you want to be careful with the Velcro and this material. The bow, I would never have thought much of it. You know, it's brown and then it has a gold trim, but then in composition with the dress, it really works. And of course, it's echoed again in the bow on her headband. We'll look again, just a full dimensional view of the design of the dress and the pin tucks all the way around. It has its own natural kind of puff to it, so she doesn't come with any kind of petticoat to keep that up. And since I have her sitting most of the time, I'll just flare it out around her. For some reason, I like the look of her the most when she's sitting as opposed to standing. Here's her adorable little apron. It has this surprising gold ribbon along the shoulder line. Again, pin tucks all along the front of the apron, and several more ribbons to frame the design. It comes around as an apron would, so it doesn't close all the way in the back. It has the apron in the front and this sort of corset waistband. Another set of brown ribbons to echo the color scheme. And then another view of her headband. The blue and white stripes are unique. They don't happen anywhere else in her costuming, but they do match the stripy look of her stockings, even though obviously it's a separate color pattern, and it really works. And my favorite part of this headband is this beautiful kind of brooch. It's tiny, you can see that, you know, in comparison to my hand. It looks quite big on camera here, but the detailing of it is exquisite. It looks like a fine Victorian piece of jewelry. Her stock is so beautiful, and everything about her is such a lovely quality that she really doesn't come with anything else. She has her stand and of course her collector's card, but that's it. And if you have any questions or would like to see any more details up close, please leave me a message in the comments, and remember to like this video if you did like it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.